Good morning, United Kingdom. Good morning, and welcome to the live drive time session with Lakhi Singh, the business and property fixer with the alternative business and property solutions community. Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. And today's topic is a continuation of yesterday's: how to deal with failure and rejection. And we spoke about lots of different important things in failure and in rejection. We recognize one thing: rejection is an immediate thing, and a failure is probably something that is more deeper, where you try to do something and you're involved in it and you try to make it happen and it doesn't happen, and that is a failure. But rejection is probably at the early stage where you don't even get entry point. At the same time, the weekend saying is life is like a bicycle, apparently. I don't believe it is, but that's what I've been told. And you have to keep moving. God knows you had that saying, but it is a saying, and it is a saying for the weekend. So, all of us, get on your life's bicycle and keep moving. Talking of someone who's always making moves, is a man who's known as the mover and the shover, the hoover, the groover, the raker, the baker, the staker, the flaker, the acre, the pain in the acre is Lakhi Singh. Good morning, Lakhi Singh. How are you? How are you feeling?
I'm doing well, thank you.
You're doing well. That's really good to know, Lakhi Singh. And whereabouts in the square mile are you? Are you urinating on a car park somewhere or on a corner of a building, marking your territory, or what are you doing?
I am driving past Harrods. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. So you're driving past Harrods, a sign of uh, exuberance and a sign of opulence, a reflection of Lucky Singh in your true essence. Lucky Singh, obviously, a man who is in the square mile, making moves on the cycle of life. He's always moving, so he follows the advice that he's giving everybody. And he's a man who's probably not used to failure, because when he does things in the square mile, they normally come out to be true. And he's a man who has a lot of influence with the heavyweighters, rubbed shoulders with ultra net worth people. And I think he deals in large amounts of money all day long. People are somewhat used to him now, and therefore he knows how to handle fear and rejection and uh, failure. Although he doesn't fail often, but he knows how to handle it. So, Lucky Singh, continuing with yesterday's topic, and we had from Mr. Rajesh Malhotra. What's your opinion? Your
On
opinion.
failure.
Yeah, is life a cycle? You have to keep making moves like yourself.
I think rejection is a good thing. I think it's all about numbers, and in some ways, the more you understand what rejection is, the more solutions you're able to counter rejection, and the stronger and better you become. So I think the more rejection you get, the better, really, because that's life, that's reality.
That's life, that's reality. Maybe rejections to do the fact that you are presenting things and people can see through you. Maybe they look at you and think, oh, it's not serious, can't really be, and you continually get rejection. Doesn't rejection require reflection? Doesn't it require alteration in the way you're doing things? Before we ask you to answer that question, we've got about 8 people or 9 people watching us on YouTube. We will ask the excellent human, I'd say, wonderful gentleman, Mr. Rajesh Malhotra, to come to the front of the stage and say hello and hi to everyone.
Hello again, VJ. Good morning. Good morning, Lakhi. Missed you, man. Where you been? Doing deals. Yeah. So yesterday we were talking about rejection and failure. Yes. Hello, VJ. Can you hear us, VJ? Hello. Hello.
Yeah, Lakhi. So rejection. Lakhi's interpretation of rejection, that is a good thing. Internet's screwed up again or something like that? No. Right. Can you hear me, Rajesh?
Yeah, Jay.
You're breaking up, my friend.
I can hear you clearly. No? We see.
I can hear you.
Okay. Excellent. Well, Rajesh seems to. So Lakhi seems to feel
Lakhi can hear me.
rejection is a good thing, and
Hello.
म्यूट है
हमारी इंटरनेट से क्या हुआ
सर वो क्या बोले ना
Yes, Lakhi Singh, can you hear me?
I can hear you fine, loud and clear. Testing one.
Rajesh, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. I can hear you very loud and clear, VJ. Yes, I can hear you.
Can you check on the system?
हमारा तो connected है.
Then we seem to have some technical issues. So, Lakhi, how's your week been?
Been a bit frantic. Got some got a few different things happening.
I can see.
Been a bit crazy. Haven't been able to do the drive times.
You've been getting. I take it have you been getting a lot of inquiries as well?
On both sides.
For the RAC program.
Yeah, everything's getting quite busy.
Okay. I think VJ sort of disappeared. Yeah, quite busy.
So I think,
okay. Well, that's a good thing. That's a really good thing, you know.
I think VJ was asking is
all right.
I think VJ was asking really about rejection and failure, and what I was saying is I think rejection is a good thing. I think we've got to embrace it because you can understand really how you're going to get rejection and what you need to be better next time, so you won't get the rejection. But otherwise, you're always going to be doing the same thing and making the same mistakes.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah.
Yeah, so I think that's what the question that
I agree, but a lot of people seem to take well, when we were speaking yesterday, I was telling him my own experiences with rejection and how not to take it personally. It's just really feedback. Like if you get rejected, so say you're going for a job interview, you know, and you pass the first stage, and then they call you for the second stage. Congratulated because they looked at your CV and decided that you look good on paper and invite you for an interview. And we know at the moment, there was especially during the pandemic and the lockdown restrictions. But in my own experience, I got to the second stage of an interview for a company that was doing, I think, car auctions. Get the position was because the other person had a year's 2 experience. Now, there's nothing I could do about that. And probably in my younger days, I would have got upset and said, "Oh, well, you know. But I realized that, okay, to be rejected is fine. You know, it's fine. Don't take it personally. And this is what I would say to the viewers out, because someone else is rejecting what you're offering, but you should never take it personally. And as Lakhi says, you know, sometimes it's good to be rejected because you may find something better. And rejection, whether you're going for a job, starting a business, being sales, is all about numbers. Are you back, VJ?
Yes, I'm back. I've been waiting.
VJ, are you back?
Yeah,
okay.
I'm back. I'm back. Right. I'm gonna listen to where your conversation. I'm not going to disturb the conversation because Lakhi Singh is a master of what's it now? Repelling.
Did you dark arts? I don't think Lakhi's the master of the dark arts, VJ. I think that moniker goes to someone else. Oh, you're cutting off again.
Yeah.
We might as well continue then, Lakhi. So yeah, give us your take on rejection, like you were saying earlier.
Well, I think
interesting thread.
Getting rejected all the time on something on a regular basis, it just may mean that either it's not the thing for you, or that you need to change your position on it and then go in another way. Yeah. You understand? So
you yourself have done many things in your life. You know, you've set up businesses, you've done property investing, and I'm sure people here, but maybe some people that view later on will think, well, it's all right for him. You know, he's already got a massive car. He's got an office in Mayfair, and you know, he's the background, the hard work that you put in, the effort that you put in, the rejection that maybe in the earlier days that you've had, even the failure. I think, like you said, with rejection, it's a case of just adapting it and trying another way. And it's like, I mean, all right, let's go back to the example that VJ was saying yesterday. Although I got to be careful how I word this. Imagine we're all singing the town, you know, we're going out the town. COVID is sort of eased down restrictions. They're letting us go to the bars and clubs. So you, me, and VJ, we've celebrated a deal out in the town, and we're sitting there. Obviously the noise is blaring with the DJ's music, and there's a bunch of attractive girls at the bar. One of them gives VJ the eye, the old wink. It could mean that she's got some lost her contact lens. However, it's like this, and then VJ goes, "Oh yeah, look, this is very interesting." So look, lads, let the master show you how it's done. The girl, she says, "This is totally hypothetical," and she says, "So, do you come here often? Who took the stars out of the sky and put them in your eyes?" And cheesy lines like that. And obviously, she's either going to say, "Ooh, back away, creepo," or say, "Even though that was a really cheesy line, you made me laugh." And then, you know, he hasn't been. So he might be rejected. He might not be rejected. Now, if she says, "Sorry, not interested," you know, then he may move on to the next girl, and the next girl, and the next girl. And he may get rejected by more and more attractive girls. But the fact is, he's trying. I mean, you know, the other thing could happen is that on the first or the second girl that he talks to, or even one of her friends, said, you know, I'm sorry about my friend. I find you quite funny, which would probably be very strange in a parallel universe. Anyway, let's just go with this. And she said, "What's your name?" and everything. And at the end, call me, and there you go. You know, and then he'll come back to us and says, "Guys, don't weigh it up. I think I've pulled." And you and me will probably say the only thing I pulled today is probably a muscle, with all the dancing I've tried to do. But you know, there you go. That's one of the analogies to take with. And we had a really interesting conversation yesterday, VJ, when you were talking about job interviews. You know, when your guys are interviewing for someone, first stage where someone sends the CV, right? So you get all your junior staff to interview them. Then you have the next stage, and then it comes to the further stage with either yourself or Lakhi would interview them. And at that point, you know what they're about. You just want to know, are they the right fit for your organization, key to your organization, I think is what you said, BJ. And even if you if you get to that stage, you are to be congratulated, because you've jumped a lot of hoops. You know, like you said, this. But we're going back to rejection. I agree. I used to really take rejection personally. I used to, you know, they don't know what they're missing and all of this. Used to come up. Well, you know what? Okay, in a way, after I calm down, maybe it is their loss, right? They don't know. Never mind. I'll prove my worth on the next one. And it's like anything with practice, or perfect practice. You get better and better. You know, you get better. Whether you're going for a job, sales, let's take sales, right? Telesales. You're phoning people every day, you know, every morning, and they're putting the phone down you, saying, "Who the hell are you? Not interested. I haven't got the time. Please stop bugging me," or try and get to the gatekeeper. You know, your approach, like Lakhi says, you're going to keep making the same mistakes, and you're not going to get through to the decision maker and be able to present your product or service. So I think rejection is. I tell you why people are on a psychological level scared of rejection. Without going all too well, I know Valentine's is coming up, but without getting too much of love, so to speak. So they're saying, "Oh my God, I've been rejected by another human being. I'm not worthy." But that's not true. That is not strictly true. It's what you're offering may not be right for them at the moment. They may have. We don't know what's going on in their heads. You know, we don't know. They may have at the moment it's not the right time, or they may just say, "Well, it's not for me." But maybe 6 months down the lane, they may contact you and say, "Hi, Raj. Remember I spoke to you. I'm now interested." You know, because the circumstances have changed. So I agree that you need to change your approach. I don't think it's happened to me that way. Because otherwise, something.
I don't think that's happened to me. Just
being approached by an attractive young. Well, I'm sure with all the love and he's a fan club. He's a real heart. He's a real heartthrob in certain parts of the world. Yeah.
And my
he's a heartthrob.
Yes, I can hear you. Yes, I can hear both of you. Yes, continue. I'm listening to
you get. No, it's exactly what you said yesterday. I mean, I was, you know, with the job interviews, with selling and everything, and even approaching, you know, like females approaching males and males approaching females. And video was going on about, I think you said something about men are hunters, and we are
we're geared up to be rejected. Okay, you know,
yes,
we're like the
we're geared
lions
up to
like
be rejected.
flying
So that
around.
was very interesting.
The deer. Yes, we are already geared up to be rejected.
Yeah.
Because we have to fight. Look, I don't want to use the P word, but we have to fight for it. Yeah? Understand this. At the moment, the way it is men hunt for the P word. Okay? Women, they don't need to work hard for that. They can just do that and it's sufficient. Okay? Men, by their nature, are the ones who are hunting. Very rare you find a lady who needs to hunt. So therefore, being geared up to hunt, you have to face rejection. You're going to miss about 200. You're going to miss about 200 reindeers, but you're going to catch one in your claws, and that's the one. That's the one you're going to club and take home.
So VJ's, I'm not sure
club and take home. Unique perspective on that.
VJ said, I'm not sure if that technique.
I would say, VJ, that well,
Lakhi Singh is speaking.
VJ, what you're saying about men being true, but women also can be hunters as well. Yeah.
Oh yeah, but it's
women
against
can be
the
hunters
grain.
as well.
Against the grain.
The thing is,
okay. What you have to understand is, Rajesh. Listen, what you have to understand
the grain. Please explain.
Okay.
Please explain.
Yeah, I'm trying to explain. Right. Okay. That's why. Okay. You will get in nature, sort of like 99% of all of the female gender of the animal is dressed to look attractive naturally. A peacock, a lioness, a leopard, a chimpanzee, a baboon. They are dressed to kill naturally. They are dressed to attract the male. In the human species, men don't go out and get themselves waxed and wear nail varnish and get their eyes done and make sure they've got a facial and all that. Why? Because they aren't trying to market themselves. They don't need to try and look for someone to actually hunt them because nobody's going to hunt them. It is the female that's going to be chased. And in that nature, you will find that females, by their nature, are always prim and proper. They're always looking smart, elegant. And in normality, you know, males, a male, you know, the D word, it's got no value. It is the P word that's got the value. If it was like a stock on the stock market, it would be outperforming every stock in the world. That is the way it is. And I think what you do is, if you get oversensitive as a man,
but how does that relate?
Then you are disliked by most, because men who are weak, that relates to the fact that you are out there hunting. You are trying to attract a female, and you don't have lipstick and eyeshadow. You have your personality and your claws only. Either you try to dig your claws in and you try to eat that prey straight away. Normally, if you're a clever guy, you're going to prey on a weak lady. But if you're a sophisticated guy, you're going to go for a sophisticated lady who needs your intellect. She needs you to be able to be witty. You can be ugly, you can be a midget, but if you've got a personality, women's love or women's attraction is not like a bloke's attraction. Remember that. Males see a nice figure, nice body parts. Wow.
Well, how does that relate
Females,
to? How does that relate
they will love
rejection?
you or like you for some totally weird internal shit. You won't understand why. And they will have a preference for a person which has got nothing to do with him being tall or short or fat or thin. Yes. Their deep is very, their love is
So
very
how
deep.
would you tie that
You
in with
understand
rejection
that,
then, Vijay?
Rajesh? The way they love someone or like someone is not what you see. Women are different type. They have a different characteristic or a different criteria. Well, men basically see what they like and they go for it. And that doesn't mean, like we said yesterday, if I was a woman trapped in a man's body, it's not much that I've gone to the club to hunt for a man or to be hunted. I've just gone to let my own hair down because I've had a tough week. I've had a tough week at work with my mom, with my brothers, with my husband, XYZ. So I've just gone there literally to enjoy the atmosphere of letting go everything that I've got outside in my real life. Now, blokes aren't that deep in their thinking. They're going there to hunt. That's it. They're not going there to let their hair down. They're going there to hunt. Ho, ho,
And if
hunt.
they get, and it's that. Well, how does that tie in with rejection,
The
though?
rejection bit is that in
Going
their
back to the
lack
subject.
of understanding, in their lack of understanding of the woman's thought pattern and the way women think, they just go like one of those real shit door salesmen who knocks on every door and doesn't know how to read the face of the person who's opening the door, and he does 100 doors, and the clever salesman does 20 doors and makes more money. That is what most blokes are like. They're that dumb, stupid salesman who knocks on 100 doors every day. Do you understand?
Okay. No, it's a good. Yes, I do understand.
Yeah,
It does
that's the
make
way
sense. I think
blokes are.
this is
That's
what
where we are. We're
Lucky
like
was saying
that.
earlier. You need
I'm
to
the
change your
same.
approach.
Yeah, I'm the same. I'm going to see a good-looking
We're on.
lady. I'm going to think, wow. But I'm not
We're
going
on
to
default.
understand. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, we're just very one-dimensional. And when you're one-dimensional, you need to understand you're knocking on someone's door and you're not even reading that person's face, their body language. You're still going through the questionnaire. Would you like to have this new sample product? And they're saying, get off my doorstep. Would you like to test this? Get off my doorstep. And because someone's told them 7 no's for a yes. So he's on that 7 no's and he doesn't realize on the 5th no, she's just tell him to get lost, sling his hook. That's what blokes are like. And that is rejection. We create rejection, not the women. Remember that. We are creating rejection because we don't know how to read somebody's personality quick enough. Females,
Learn.
females, they're always going to be looking good. They're always going, because they are, by their nature, they want to feel good. They want to feel like they look good. That's why God has made them in that mold. They have lovely eyes, they have lovely lips, they have a different type of a neck pattern, they can keep longer hair. Now, if you see any bloke trying to keep long hair, you know, these rock stars, when they get to about 30, 40, they look like those guys who are wearing a wig. They don't look like it's real hair because they're not designed to have long hair. It's as simple as this. Do you understand? So you've got to understand in the nature of women, they aren't rejecting you. They're just that person who's opened the door, who's not interested with you. They may be interested with you, maybe in some other time, other shape or form. You're a colleague at work. They may have more interest with you there than in a club. But blokes, by their nature, aren't very sophisticated. And like you said,
No, absolutely.
You understand? So rejection is more our fault than it is the fault of the people rejecting us because of the way we are, the way we're designed. We're hunters. We're out there. We've gone. We know there's about 100 reindeer crossing the lake. We're trying to look for that weak one that we can dig our claws into. Unfortunately, the weak one happens to be the fat, ugly girlfriend who's come along with her. And she's the one who's even bothered to talk to you. More like Lucky.
Vijay, to be a bit more PC.
Next question.
We might get chucked off air by Facebook.
I think I think we crossed that line way back.
Yeah. Remember, in
Going
this
back
world,
onto the rejection. Yes.
Rejection, right? Go on.
Do you think rejection is a part of human nature? I know you talk about the females, but with males, is it a part of their DNA? Are they forever forlorn? There's a word, forlorn to
Yes.
be
Make you
rejected in any
understand.
way,
There
shape,
is okay. I'll tell you
because
something. Rajesh, understand something. There is a rejection, which is a minor rejection. It's like, oh, you can't come here. Sorry, don't like you. Small rejection. There are certain things which are called major rejections, big rejections. They're the type of things that come with your DNA, like you just said, DNA. And a guy who continually does the same thing with the same result, it could be defined as being insane, because that is one definition of insanity, doing the same thing
yes,
over and over again and getting the same result. But with guys who
over
are
and over
stuck
again.
in a place where they are over and over getting rejected, there is something in your actual DNA which has not got anything to do with being a bloke DNA. This is about you not fixing the things from the past. There's something stuck in your past, something that you created as your set methodology for dealing with things. And this is the nature of humans, as is the nature of the world, of the universe. The world continually circles in 24 hours. It doesn't change. And every time there's a buildup of high cloud pressure, you get rain. Every time there's a low pressure, when you get low pressure, there's rain. When there's high pressure, you get hot temperatures. The world is acting naturally in a cycle. It does the same thing every time the same actual natural phenomena occur: storm, sun, rain, summer, winter. And at the same time, humans create their own natural cycle. Every person in their life will come to a stage.
So what would you say?
Yeah.
What would you say to someone who wants to, and they're going to be facing rejection, looking for a new job, or they want to start a business, so they need to do a business plan and looking for investors, and if you're saying that something in your past is giving you a mental block, if you keep getting constantly rejected, you may internalize that and say, well, I'm never going to get an investor, or I'm never going to get the job I want, or I'll never be successful or lose weight, my dreams. What would you say? Have you got any advice for our viewers that are watching? I know Lakhi has, but I just wanted to get your take on that. And again, are you back, VJ?
Hello? Yes. Oh. Yes, I'm here. Right. Okay, I'll answer your question. In life, you need to create something called a take of a breath and consolidation. You need to do that which you would do in your business, that once every 2-3 years, you take a stop, look back and see what you've been doing. And in order for you to be self-reflective, you have to be dirt honest as well. And some people can't be that. They like to hide away their actual weaknesses by cleverly trying to pretend that they're under pressure, or don't bother me, or I've got, I'm under, I've got some, weird thing going on with me. Honest people actually look at it cold and hard and say, right, I've got to stop doing that. And it's that which is creating the constant cycle, because at every crossroad in your life, when you come to the similar type of crossroad with the same lights, similar type of traffic, naturally you will behave in the same way. Why? Because that's the only thing you do know. You're relying upon memory and knowledge of the past to take the right decision. But if every time you come to that juncture, you're doing the same thing, then you yourself are the one who's not taking time out to stop and think and say, right, okay, on every occasion before this, I took a right. Maybe I need to go straight on. And that is literally how you change your cycle.
That's really good
because you'll do this.
That's very valuable insight. And can I just ask Lucky? Yeah. Can I just ask Lucky what your take would be on this? Say someone comes up to you, you met not on the street, but or maybe you have a meeting, and this guy is a young entrepreneur, wants to start a business. He's looking for investment, and he's looking to you or your investors to invest in his business. What would you say to them? What advice would you give to that? Obviously, they need to be prepared. They need to have a presentation. But you're like the 10th, maybe let's say the 10th person he's seen so far, and so far 9 people have said no, right? What sort of advice would you give based on? I had the same thing happen to me when I pitched to people, and people have pitched to me. So I just wanted to get your take on it for the viewers that are listening.
So I think just got to look at what the strengths and weaknesses, first of all, of that individual in terms of how they're pitching. And number 2, then you're going to look at the strengths and weaknesses of whatever product service they're pitching. And if they're not aware of their weakness in terms of how they're pitching, because some people are quite convincing with their arguments, but they're not always good at their documentation. And sometimes people are very good with their documentation in detail, but they don't know how to engage with people because they're like accountants and got a very dull personality, and they're very much focused on getting the detail right, but they don't know how to engage with people. So I think those are just some simple examples, because I have been to quite a few senior pitches, and what I find a lot of the time people get no is because they also don't really understand their audience. So they're pitching to maybe the wrong type of people with the wrong product, the wrong connection. But if you got the right qualified, the right people, got the right product and service, and you also know really what's going to tick their boxes, and you know how to engage, then you've got the perfect storm.
No, there you go. There you go. Yeah, thank you for sharing that, Lucky, and you, Vijay, as well. Over to you, Vijay. Have you got any more questions for me?
Right, I'm gonna summarize because we've got I think we've got how long left? We've got about 7 minutes left. What I want to do is, because we spoke in detail yesterday, me and Rajesh, regarding the topic. We've got the topic that life is a cycle as well, and you got to keep moving. But we have to accept that a cycle has wheels, and those wheels, they've got a little flag on them somewhere in one of the spokes. That wheel keeps coming back. Let's suppose that wheel has a little flag on one of the spokes. And once every turn, that spoke keeps coming back around to the mudguard.
Right.
We've got to remember that spoke, that little flag, is our cycle of behavior. Okay? And in everyone's life, that cycle of behavior determines why they're always stuck in the same rut. Why are they always perpetually in debt? Or why are they always perpetually half in, half out of their business? Why are they always why are they always making lots of moves, but there's no result? Why is it that they never start that grand business that they're talking about? Why is it that they always end up leaving the job every 3 months? Why is it that every job they get never happens to be the one they want? Because they're not happy. So that flag on that spoke is the one that keeps making us behave in the same way. We've got to remember psychologically somehow to cut that flag off, move it to another spoke, or change the color of it, or move it further down the spoke. But we've got to remember either way that is our cycle of behavior. And in order to change cycle of behavior, you need to have deep reflection, or you need to have a very good friend, very good colleague, maybe your wife like Rajesh, or maybe your boyfriend like Lakhi, or maybe a good colleague for me. You've got to be able to talk to that person and take honest, true criticism in order to do your reflection for you, because you're not happy to, you don't want to do your reflection. You're obsessively, continually behaving in the same way, and you're continually rejecting the fact that you don't want to recognize that. And you need someone who's good enough to tell you that. If you can't do it yourself, there's very few people in my life that I've met who've got the ability to do self-reflection. Very few. You know, most people, they just, they'll wing it, or they'll try and work out another technique. Or they'll probably just, I'm going for a career change. Yeah, Lakhi Singh, apart from Lakhi Singh, very few people who have that ability.
I think Lakhi said, apart from Lakhi Singh,
who can actually pretend to be their own mentor, and they can actually tell themselves, "You're right," even if you are wrong.
Yeah, I totally agree with that.
I think that is what I'm going to summarize today. Yeah, Lakhi Singh says he's able to. Yeah, he's able to
be brutally
fix
honest
himself
with
because he's a fixer. Obviously, it would be it'd be a contradiction. Lakhi Singh not being able to fix himself. So yeah, Lakhi Singh can fix himself. So really, that's what I would say is a summary of today, putting together both the weekend's words of wisdom and the topic from yesterday, failure and rejection, and how do we handle it. And certain things are small rejections, which are probably minor, they don't really affect you. But certain things are major rejection. I think it's the major rejections that we don't like, and I think major rejection. You have to be brutally honest with yourself.
Yeah,
that's right. With the major rejections,
right, they do affect people.
So to
On a
finalize
psychological
today,
level.
to summarize, I'm going to ask Rajesh. Can you give us your last saying or feeling or point, so we close off today?
On rejection, like I said, I take what Lakhi and you both said about rejection. Obviously, don't take it personally if you can.
Hey, shout out
and
to
change your
Mohsin
approach,
Rabjani, Carolyn, Meena Kapoor, who else? Marsha and Mandy. Shout out to everybody. I hope you've enjoyed today's drive time with the technical failures. I think technical failures are more fun than the actual.
These past couple of sessions.
There's even some things that
I thoroughly enjoyed these past sessions. Technical issues that we seem to have. Yeah, no, but no, I no, I just want to say thank you. I'm soon to be a regular guest on the show, and I'm always humbled that you've invited me back. And I also want to thank all the viewers that are watching this. If you want me back, happy to come back anytime. So I'm absolutely delighted to be a part of this community. Yeah, we had a real long conversation yesterday, me and Vijay. Is Vijay Kasal coming back, or is he clicked off for the day?
Now. I think there's love between Vijay Sal now and Rajesh Malhotra. Yeah, can you hear me?
All right. Well, yeah, I can hear you, Lakhi. I can hear you.
Okay. Okay, I think
you're. I can see you.
I'm just walking through Shepherd's
all right.
Market.
Well, thanks again. Until next time.
There's nobody here.
Oh, Shepherd's Market. Yes. I'm. Yeah. Are you off to your office after that? you going to your office?
Yeah, I should be in the office in 2 minutes. So this is a special drive time, where it's more of a walk time.
All right, we'll get on because.
All right, guys, take care.
Yeah.